They want marriage but not for love. My beloved child, something huge is waiting for you, and I need you to breathe slowly because the truth you are about to hear will not just surprise you, it will shake every corner of your heart. Listen carefully. There is a reason your soul has been restless, a reason your eyes have been catching signals you could not decode, a reason the energy around you has suddenly shifted. You thought everything unfolding around you was normal, but nothing is normal. Someone wants marriage with you, but not for love. Not for affection. Not for connection. Not for the future you imagine. They want something else, something they think you cannot see, but today, every hidden piece will rise to the surface. And you will understand why the last few days, random strangers looked at you differently, why someone close to you suddenly became extra sweet, why a certain person kept watching your every move, calculating every detail like a long-planned mission. My beloved child, this is not a small discovery, this is the kind of revelation that changes the way you trust, the way you choose, the way you open your heart again. Amen. Blessing 111. Beyond the surface of your quiet days, a story has been unfolding without your awareness, and it has reached a point where the truth can no longer hide. They want marriage, but their heart is not in it. Because their heart belongs to someone else, something else, or some motive far away from love. Their eyes might look soft, their words might sound gentle, but intentions carry a weight that no human mouth can disguise. Someone wants to bind you in a commitment that benefits them, protects them, saves them, or gives them an advantage they cannot get from anyone else. And you, my beloved child, are standing unknowingly at the center of their plan. This is why signs have been following you. This is why your intuition has been whispering that something feels off. This is why every time you tried to be hopeful, a strange disturbance rose in your chest like a quiet alarm. What you're feeling is not imagination, it is your spirit warning you before you step into a life-changing decision. And today, the mask drops. Amen. Blessing 222. Now listen with full focus, because what comes next is the core of everything. There is someone in your life, could be from your past, your present, or someone pretending to be a new connection, who has been watching your strength, your stability, your growth, your rising destiny, and they realized something: loving you is not easy, but gaining something through you is. They want marriage because you are becoming valuable. You are becoming chosen. You are becoming a door that opens to places they cannot reach alone. And instead of earning your trust through love, they want to secure a future through strategy. But here is the shocking twist: they didn't know you would receive this message today. They didn't know their plan would be exposed. They didn't know that your silence has been gathering evidence without you even trying. My beloved child, the universe is revealing the true intention before you take a single step toward a mistake. And someone who assumed you would fall blindly, is about to realize you are not someone who can be fooled. This is not just information, this is your protection. Amen. Blessing 333. My beloved child, before you take another breath, understand this: the person who wants to tie you into this marriage has been moving with a strategy so silent, so polished, so perfectly masked that even the people closest to you couldn't sense their real intention. Something huge is waiting for you, and the moment you hear it, the ground under your emotions will shift. There's a truth hiding behind every smile they gave you, every message they sent you at the perfect time, every act of care that felt rehearsed rather than real. This is the part they never wanted you to see. The part that exposes why they chose you, not your heart, not your soul, not your love, but your rising destiny. Your growth has put a spotlight on you, and they want to stand in the glow of that light without deserving it. My beloved child, this isn't love, this is calculation dressed like affection. Amen. Blessing 444. Somewhere behind the scenes, while you were living your days with innocence, they were studying you, not like a lover studies their partner, but the way a planner studies an opportunity. They noticed your strength. They noticed your resilience. They noticed the way you carry yourself, the way people respect you, the way your presence naturally attracts possibilities. And slowly, quietly, a thought entered their mind: if I marry them, my problems solve themselves. This is why they rushed timelines. This is why they intensified attention. This is why their energy felt heavy yet desirous, because they weren't trying to build a connection, they were trying to secure a position. And the universe waited until this moment to open your eyes so you don't walk into a commitment where your heart gives everything but receives nothing. They want marriage because they see what you can provide, not because they feel what true love provides. My beloved child, this revelation is your shield. Amen. Blessing 555. Now prepare yourself, because the next part will shake you emotionally. Someone else, someone who truly values you, someone who sees your worth with purity, is watching all of this unfold in silence. They have been biting their tongue, holding back their truth, afraid you'll get hurt by choosing the wrong person. This individual sees you as rare. They see you as irreplaceable. They see you as someone who deserves love that protects, not intentions that use. They've noticed the strange behavior of the one trying to marry you without love. They've watched their manipulative patterns. They've seen how their eyes never soften with real affection but sharpen with desire for advantage. And this silent observer, they're praying that you don't lose yourself to someone who wants your life, not your love. My beloved child, what's coming next in your journey will expose every hidden motive and bring forward the one who actually cherishes you. Amen. Blessing 666. My beloved child, before you move forward, let your heart become still, because what you're about to hear will make every puzzle piece from the last few months fall into place with a shocking clarity. Something huge is waiting for you, and this part will expose the moment everything began, the exact point where their intention shifted from curiosity to advantage, from interest to opportunity, from simple attention to a long-term plan that had nothing to do with love. There was a day, you may remember it faintly, when they suddenly became extra sweet, extra available, extra present. That day wasn't random. That day was the moment they discovered something about you, something that made them realize your future was rising in a direction they wanted to be attached to. Your growth frightened them, but it also tempted them. They realized that loving you deeply requires responsibility, maturity, loyalty, and effort, but using you quietly requires nothing except patience and a mask. And that mask? They have worn it flawlessly. Every smile was rehearsed. Every compliment was strategic. Every, "I'm here for you," carried a silent, "because you can help me later." My beloved child, you were never wrong for being kind, what was wrong was their intent behind accepting it. Amen. Blessing 777. Somewhere in their mind, a calculation was running constantly. They noticed the opportunities forming around you, new connections, emotional glow-ups, spiritual clarity, financial stability, subtle success signals that most people miss but opportunistic minds never ignore. They noticed how doors were beginning to open for you, how people were treating you differently, how energy was aligning in your favor. And in that moment, a powerful thought struck them: if I marry this person now, my life becomes secure. They didn't dream of waking up beside you out of love, they dreamed of waking up beside your stability. They didn't imagine holding your heart, they imagined holding your future. They didn't envision protecting your soul, they envisioned benefiting from your blessings. And this truth reveals why they suddenly became extremely careful in front of you, why they avoid arguments, why they pretend to respect your boundaries, why they talk about marriage with urgency but talk about feelings with vagueness. A person who loves deeply speaks from the heart. A person who wants advantage speaks in circles. My beloved child, their words were circles, you just didn't know it yet. Amen. Blessing 888. And now, here comes the twist that changes everything. Someone from their side, someone connected to them, someone who knows their true motive, has been observing their plan with discomfort. This person cannot directly warn you, but they have been sending you subtle signals: strange behavior, sudden coldness, unexpected silence, or an uncomfortable expression whenever marriage is brought up. This individual has seen the truth behind the scenes. They know the real reason this person wants to marry you. They know the emotional emptiness behind the proposal. They know the plan isn't love, it's survival. And they fear that if you enter this marriage, your light will dim, your potential will be suppressed, and your heart will be drained by someone who never intended to love you the way you deserve. My beloved child, today's revelation is not to scare you, it is to protect you. You were never meant to be a stepping stone for someone's personal benefit. You were meant to be cherished, valued, adored, and chosen with pure intention. The universe is clearing your path so you don't walk into a commitment built on calculation instead of connection. Amen. Blessing 999. My beloved child, something huge is waiting for you, and this time the truth will hit deeper than before. The person who wants to marry you has recently done something that exposes their motive more clearly than anything else. They approached someone behind your back, someone who knows you well, someone who understands your personality, and they asked a question that no person in love would ever ask. Instead of asking about your dreams, your happiness, your comfort, your emotional world, they asked about your stability, your plans, your future position, your resources, your potential. That moment revealed everything. They weren't curious about your heart, they were curious about your life. They weren't drawn to your soul, they were drawn to the path you're destined to walk. And the person they asked? They felt uneasy. They sensed an agenda. They noticed how empty their tone was whenever love-related topics came up. My beloved child, the mask slipped that day. It didn't fall, but it cracked, and the universe caught the crack before you stepped blind into their plan. Amen. Blessing 1111. Deep inside their intentions, there lies a fear, not fear of losing you, but fear of losing the opportunity you represent. They fear your rising power. They fear your transformation. They fear that someone else might enter your life with genuine love and take the place they want to occupy without earning it. That's why every time you try to distance yourself, they panic. Not because their heart breaks, but because their plan collapses. They sense that you're changing. They sense you're becoming wiser. They sense that your intuition is waking up. And now, ironically, they're becoming the most restless person in the connection, trying to act innocent, trying to act gentle, trying to appear as someone who cares, while everything in their energy screams pressure, fear, and hidden desire to secure you before the truth spills completely. But the truth has already stepped out of the shadows. They don't want marriage for love. They want it because loving you is difficult, but gaining through you is easy. My beloved child, your spirit is rejecting that energy because your destiny does not include being used. Amen. Blessing 12:12. Here comes the revelation that changes the entire story, the part they never imagined you would find out: someone who genuinely cares for you, someone who values your smile, your peace, your future, has been sensing that something wrong is unfolding. This person has stayed quiet, not because they don't want to warn you, but because they know the wrong word at the wrong time can push you closer to the wrong person. They've been watching the shifts, the forced sweetness, the sudden urgency, the emotional absence behind the proposal. They've noticed how your energy drops every time you speak to the one wanting marriage. They've noticed how your eyes dim instead of glow. And this silent observer has been praying that your heart sees the truth before your life enters a commitment that drains you. They can feel that you deserve a love that stands by you, not a motive that stands on you. They believe something divine is stepping in to redirect your path, to protect you from a lifetime of exhaustion. My beloved child, the universe is not exposing this person to hurt you, it's exposing them so you don't lose the version of yourself that deserves real affection. Amen. Blessing 13:13. My beloved child, something huge is waiting for you, and what I'm about to reveal will make your heart freeze for a moment because this is the part nobody dared to tell you. The person who wants marriage with you recently sat with someone and complained, not about missing you, not about loving you, not about wanting to build a life with you, but about how their situation is getting worse, how their life feels stuck, how nothing is moving for them. And in the middle of that conversation, your name came up, not as a blessing they cherish, but as a solution they want to secure. They said things like, if things work out with them, my life will get better, everything will be easier. I won't have to struggle anymore. My beloved child, do you understand what this means? You are not a companion to them, you are an escape plan. You are not a soulmate to them, you are a shortcut. And this is why their behavior has been confusing, why their affection feels robotic, why their concern feels forced. They don't want your love, they want your life. Amen. Blessing 14:14. Now listen carefully, because this next part reveals the moment the universe decided to step in. Someone who observed that conversation felt a strange discomfort, like something was deeply wrong. They noticed how lacking in emotion the person sounded when speaking about you. They noticed how their eyes never softened when your name was mentioned. They noticed how their voice never cracked with longing, never warmed with affection, never carried the energy of someone in love. Instead, it carried calculation, pure, cold, polished calculation. This observer started paying more attention. They watched how this person behaves when your messages come in. They watched how they try to act excited but their eyes remain empty. They watched how they avoid deep emotional questions because they don't want to expose their truth. And that observer has been silently hoping you would sense the same emptiness they sensed. My beloved child, the universe reveals intentions slowly but clearly, and today it is screaming the truth so loudly that you cannot ignore it anymore. Amen. Blessing 15:15. And here comes the twist that will change everything for you, the kind of twist that lifts the fog from your eyes instantly. Someone else, someone whose heart beats differently when you enter the room, has been watching you lose pieces of yourself trying to understand a person who never truly intended to love you. This individual feels protective over you in a way that words can't explain. They want to step in, speak up, pull you away, but they are waiting for the right moment because they don't want to interfere when your emotions are vulnerable. They admire your strength, your kindness, your heart, and they know you deserve someone who chooses you for your soul, not your situation. They believe the wrong person is rushing because the right person is getting closer. And the right person, whoever they are, carries an energy that will nourish you, not drain you. My beloved child, fate is rearranging your path so you don't end up in a marriage built on hidden motives. The universe is clearing your vision so you choose with clarity instead of confusion. Amen. Blessing 16:16. My beloved child, something huge is waiting for you, and this part will reveal why your spirit has been restless even when everything on the surface looked calm. Deep inside you, a quiet voice has been whispering that something is off. That whisper wasn't imagination, it was protection. Because the person who wants to marry you doesn't feel excitement when they think about a future with you, they feel relief. Not relief that they found a soulmate, not relief that they found love, but relief that their personal struggles can finally end. When they talk to others about you, their words don't sound like love, they sound like strategy. They speak as if marrying you is a deal, not a destiny. A transaction, not a connection. A solution, not a sacred bond. My beloved child, this is why the universe has been shaking your intuition awake, so you don't mistake their convenience for commitment. Amen. Blessing 17:17. But here's the deeper truth, the one hidden so carefully that even the people around them haven't fully caught it. They are comparing you. Not to see who loves them more, but to see who can benefit them more. They have been observing your strength, your stability, your growth, your rising path, and matching it against someone else who cannot give them the same future. In their mind, you are the better option, not the beloved partner. They feel that choosing you gives them a shortcut to peace, status, comfort, progress. But choosing someone else would bring them struggle. That is why they chase you, even when their eyes lack love. That is why they try to impress you, even when their energy feels forced. That is why they talk about marriage, but never talk about genuine affection. Their heart is not choosing you, you are being selected like a safe route. And this truth is painful, but it is necessary, because you are not meant to be someone's exit plan. My beloved child, your love is too sacred to be treated like a strategy. Amen. Blessing 18:18. Now prepare, because the final part of this revelation exposes what they fear the most. They know someone else is drawn to you with pure intentions. Someone who sees what they cannot appreciate. Someone who values what they cannot understand. This other person does not see you as a solution, they see you as a blessing. They don't approach you with calculation, they approach you with respect. They don't want to use your growth, they want to grow with you. And the one trying to marry you without love senses this threat deeply. Every time they feel this other energy around you, even in small ways, online, in conversations, in your aura, they panic. They fear losing access to your future. They fear losing the chance to attach themselves to your destiny. They fear being replaced by someone who actually deserves your heart. And that fear is why their urgency has increased recently. They're not rushing because they love you, they're rushing because they know they're running out of time. My beloved child, you are stepping into a chapter where only genuine souls will be allowed near your heart. Amen. Blessing 1919. My beloved child, something huge is waiting for you, and it begins in the shadows of a moment you didn't even realize was important. There was a day, recently, when you pulled your energy back just a little. Maybe you replied late. Maybe you sounded tired. Maybe you didn't give them the reaction they expected. And that tiny shift in your behavior exposed their entire motive. Instead of worrying about your feelings, they panicked about their plan. Instead of asking, "Are you okay?" they wondered, "Are they slipping away?" Their fear wasn't losing you, it was losing what they want through you. Their desperation wasn't for love, it was for security. And that panic made them act strange, overly sweet, unusually attentive, almost like someone trying to fix a crack before the whole mask falls off. My beloved child, their urgency came from fear, not affection. Amen. Blessing 2020. Behind closed doors, they have been talking to someone about you, someone who knows their inner truth better than they admit. In that conversation, they didn't describe you as a person they adore, admire, or cherish. They described you as a chance. A chance to stabilize their life. A chance to escape their problems. A chance to cover their flaws. A chance to step into a future that they could never reach alone. They didn't talk about your smile, they talked about your strength. They didn't talk about your love, they talked about your potential. They didn't talk about a shared journey, they talked about their convenience. And the person listening to them felt the hollowness in every word. That listener began to see the truth. They realized this isn't love, this is dependency disguised as devotion. My beloved child, the universe recorded that conversation even if your ears didn't hear it. Amen. Blessing 2121. But now comes the most shocking twist, the one that the universe wants you to hear loud and clear. Someone else, someone you wouldn't expect, has been quietly protecting you from this connection. Not physically, not loudly, but energetically and emotionally. This person has sensed the emptiness of the proposal long before you did. They felt the strange intentions hidden behind the excessive sweetness. They noticed how your energy dimmed when you spoke about this person. They saw how your eyes didn't shine the way they shine when you're genuinely happy. They've been waiting, hoping, praying that you would not fall into a commitment built on someone's survival instead of someone's love. And the reason they feel protective? Because their heart holds a truth you haven't fully seen yet. They care. They value you. They want to see you with someone who brings light, not someone who drains it. My beloved child, divine timing is pulling you toward real love and pushing you away from a marriage built on a lie. Amen. Blessing 22:22. My beloved child, something huge is waiting for you, and this time the revelation slips straight into the cracks of their hidden intentions. They recently made a decision that confirms everything the universe has been trying to warn you about. They started talking about the future, not with excitement, but with calculation. They began mentioning plans, responsibilities, and commitments in a way that sounded strangely rehearsed. Their tone wasn't filled with love, it was filled with strategy. They weren't imagining a life with you, they were imagining a life benefiting from you. And the more you pull away, the more desperate they become, because their entire vision of stability collapses without you in it. My beloved child, your intuition isn't lying, your spirit is picking up the coldness they've been hiding behind warm words. Amen. Blessing 23:23. Look closely at their recent actions, because this is where the mask slips the most. There was a moment, small but powerful, when someone asked them a question about you. Something simple, something innocent. But instead of blushing or smiling like someone in love, they froze for a second. Their face tightened. Their breath shifted. Their reaction wasn't emotional, it was analytical. They were thinking, calculating, choosing their words. Real love doesn't calculate. Real love flows. And in that moment, the person who asked them noticed the emptiness. They noticed the lack of spark. They noticed the hesitation. They noticed how their answer sounded like someone describing a plan, not a person. That observer walked away with one truth. This isn't love. This is something else. My beloved child, that moment was the universe's way of exposing everything they hoped to hide. Amen. Blessing 24:24.